Hi and hello to another live stream. Today we will talk about AI in Fabric, and hopefully some of you are there, so say hi in the chat if you want. And yeah, let's start. First thing about me, my name is Catherine. I'm Managing Director of Yoda BI, founder for Female Fabricator user group as well as Power Platform. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube if you not already have. And I have also a website where you can go and see some blog posts. Okay, let's jump. Microsoft Fabric Copilot. So some of you maybe already heard it from the FabCon. It will be in some week that in all layers Copilot will be available. This means that from tier F2 to F, I'm not sure how far we were in the moment, but and you have in every capacity you can use Copilot then. Later, we have some interesting information about this topic. So yeah, but first let's start and see in what services Copilot is available. So first we have the data factory in which we have the data flows and of course the data pipelines. And then we have the data engineering part, and we have the data science part. And yes, you see in the different areas what we can do there. So for example, if we are notebooks, I will show you later. That's why I'm not going into this very deep in a moment. But yeah, you have some chat magic. So you can, for example, translate code very easy. You can generate code with native language. You can fix code and can ask questions about your data. You can create visuals and so on. And data warehousing is something similar. So you can, for example, use quick fixes in your code. You can you can Copilot say that you want to know what is the code about. And then we have the real-time intelligence with KQL and query sets. And we have the SQL database, in which we can also use quick fixes and code completion and so on. And Power BI, the biggest one, in which we have so much that I can't go through everything today, but we will cover I guess, the important things. And if you have questions, you can put them in the chat and then I will go through it. Okay, so let's start with the news. But before I forgot, so this is the first thing I do in my demos now. I open the portal and click on start so that we start the capacity and don't miss later that it's off and we can't use it. Okay, then the first thing, the FabCon announcements. Copilot and AI capabilities in Fabric will be available for our SQs. It's a big announcement. I think it's one of the biggest, beside the security in the OneLake, of course. And yeah, so, and there are several articles about it. So I will put the links in the description below after the stream. And you can see here we have the announcement blog where everything is covered. What does it mean that it's available in all capacities? Then we have a new thing which called Fabric Copilot Capacity. So now it is FCC instead of FSQs, and everything is all is covered in this in this blog article as well. So you can go through it. What is this? How can you assign, or how can you assign different users or user groups? And also, we have here some FAQs where you can see who can set up a Fabric Copilot capacity, which does FCC have any size or SKU restrictions, and so on. So you have here some limitations. You have some very interesting informations about these FCC. Okay, the next thing we have, I find this very interesting. So I found this also some days ago. And this is the Microsoft Fabricator SQ Estimator in preview. What does it mean? Maybe you already know from the past the Power BI estimator, where you could put in the developer, the viewer, and then you saw, okay, how much money we need. And the same thing we have here for Fabric. So you can put in some informations, some general informations, the data informations, what is the batch cycle, what is the data once compressed, and so on, number of entities, and then you can say, okay, what do we want? Do we want a data factory? Do we want Spark jobs? Do you want data science? So maybe Power BI is already there. And then you can go down, and you see here you have some question you can answer. It's like the Power BI estimator. So you have here also the Power BI viewers, you have the developers, you can put in the model size. You can say, okay, use migrate to Fabric Experience. And then you can, of course, say for the data factory, for daily data flow operations, how much a day, and then, yeah, that's all. And then you can go down, and then you can calculate it. So, and then you see, if you go up, you see you have here an estimation of F8. Why is it? Because 56% are for Power BI. We have a bit in the data warehouse, a bit in the data factory. The one leg operations less than 1%, and we have some unused. Maybe it's for Copilot, so we have some reserves. And yeah, because the Power BI is here estimated with Power BI Pro, so there's no F64 estimated, because on a point you have the break even, where you can say, okay, now F64 is more interesting, because on a F64 my viewers are for free, and yeah, so this is very good thing to see what license also do you need here. Okay, then another cool thing, saw it on LinkedIn on Sandeep account. So Sandeep Pawar, and maybe you know him, and he created a Copilot calculator, which is really cool. So you can, if you have no idea what these prompts and tokens and things are, so you can go here, and then you see here for every 750 words, approximately 1,000 tokens are generated. So then you know, okay, I have maybe input tokens. So maybe you don't write much, but output tokens. Copilot is very chatty, so it uses many of words. Depends on the question, of course. But if you have summaries or something like that, then it could be a bit more. But if you go down, you see it doesn't cost that much. But you have to to calculate not only maybe for one person, but what if you have more developers, you have more people who uses, so maybe you have, don't know, 100 end users, and they're prompting every day, and it could be a bit more, right? So be aware of it. It's very cool to see how much it costs, and you can also change the between reserved instance and pay-as-you-go instance. And if you want to know more about it, Sandeep has also a Git repository in which he has a little README for the Fabric AI calculator. I will post the link later in the description, so don't be afraid. Okay, then the last thing, which is also here referred, and it is that the Copilot is running in the background. So Copilot requests are classified as background jobs and spread over 24 hours. So if you have a pay-as-you-go instance and you shut them down, so it could be that there, of course, it's charged after shutdown. So yeah, be aware of that. And there's also a thing which called surge protection. Or sometimes I call it secure protection. I'm not sure why, but it is surge protection. So, and for what is this surge protection? The surge protection is you can limit the background capacity, the background. So you can put in a threshold for the background activities, and that means that your reports are running safely. So if someone abuse Copilot for whatever, you can be sure that your reports are still running if you put in the thresholds for the background activities. Okay, so now I hope I have covered everything so that you now know, okay, what do I have to have in mind if I use Copilot in Fabric? And of course, one thing more, you have to enable it, of course. So you have to go to the administration center, so to the admin portal. And then, of course, you have to go to the tenant settings. If you are an administrator, you can go in here, and then you have to switch on the Copilot features. And of course, that Copilot or Azure OpenAI can proceed outside your capacity, so that you are aware of it. And the new thing is with the FCC is capacity can be designated as Fabric Copilot capacity. So this is new. So you can enable it, and then you can go to the capacity settings and go into your capacity on which Copilot should be on, and then you can put in there the persons you want or the groups or whatever. Okay, then let's go to our event workspace and let's check out what we have today. So I created here something, but we doesn't need that one. So I have here a task flow. In my previous live stream, I explained this also for the Power BI users because this is very handy and I like this version. So, and I have this here as as demo because we know live demos aren't working most of the time live. That's why I prepared something here. In case you don't know what is a task flow, a little wrap up. If you want to create one, you have only one task flow per workspace. It means if you create a workspace, let's do this very quickly. So you go to new workspace, you say here, for example, this is our AI demo workspace. You can go to advanced, and then you can set here the capacity. In my case, it is my Fabric capacity, and I can apply. After that, the workspace will appear, and then you can go here and select a pre-designed task flow, which is very cool. I explained it in another live stream. If you want to know more about it, you can go there. And I used for this demo the basic data analytics, and I added the analyze container or flow here in this case, in this scenario today. So let's go back to our event workspace, and then we will go on here, collect data. So the first part is collect data, where we find the data flow. Of course, you can use Copilot in pipelines, but in this case, I want to use my, of course. So why is this happening? Because I have a switch which turns off my capacity after 5 p.m. Of course, we have now the live stream after 5 p.m. That's why it turned off automatically. That's not good. So in some cases it is good because it's not still running, because it's a bit expensive if you are in the F64. And that's why I have a switch here. And now I hope that it will work again because I switched it on again. And yes, so let's see. Live streams are always fun. You see what happened and you see what works and what not, and how long does it take. Yeah, so now we have our data flow here, and I hope Copilot will appear in a moment here on the side. Okay, now what would you like to do? Copilot asks, you can get data from, it's like wizards, so it open your get data area. You can add a step if you want, so add a step that, for example, remove the day of a week. And I can also describe this query. So if I want to describe, for example, my change type or my other remove, then I can put this in. So like describe this query. I can say, okay, I want to describe this one. So I need the name, and I put it in here, and then I can, let me explain what is this query about. Okay, takes a moment. Oh, it's very fast now. Earlier today I had the live stream in German and that was a bit slow. Okay, and let's now we see explanation for remove column 1 in the dim date. Remove the day of week column, so this is what it does. Okay, makes sense, right? Good. Okay, then let's switch to the next element in our task flow. Okay, yeah, we have to close it. I hate data flow sometimes. And don't hurt that. I love everything here in Fabric. Okay, next thing we have here our store data. So we have now our data ingested and now we have to store it somewhere. And this is a sample warehouse. Okay, let's open our warehouse and let's see what Copilot magic we can find here. So, in the next live stream, I will play some music, so maybe it's more amusing. And then we see here on the left, we have my queries, and I can go into my SQL query one, and you will see that I have already done something here. Let me see if I have an SQL query 2. This is a very low query, so let me use this one, and let me remove the comments. So for the proper demonstration, you see it's all live, so I forgot to remove it. Now you have to do it with me. Okay, and okay, let's assume I have now here put in date key not correctly, and I will run the query. Then it will say, no, doesn't work. And so, okay, why? Then I can say fix errors. And now Copilot goes through my code and says, okay, I changed date key to date key, so now it matched the schema. Nice, right? And I can also say, explain me the query. I have no idea what it's about. So let me see what is about this query here. And then you see here, this query retrieves the data, the total sales amount grouped by month from the fact online table, extract month number from the date key column, and alias it as month number. So it's very good description here. And now if I will run the query, I can see that it's working. So from the time it takes, I can say, okay, it is working now. So hopefully it is 9 seconds takes. Okay, now we see here month number and the total sales amount works perfectly. And I can also save this as view if I want and can put it into my data model as well, if this is the case. Okay, I can also go, for example, to my tables. Hopefully this will work. Live demos, as I mentioned before. Okay, yeah. So if I want, I could also create tables in the warehouse. I don't do this now, so that we can cover everything in this little session. Then the next step is to create a visualization. So we have here the sample report created with Copilot. So I didn't created anything there. So of course, we had to create the data model first in the warehouse. I didn't show you that, but you can also, for example, enrich your data with the DAX editor, in which you also have Copilot in it. Maybe we will take a look after this into that. Okay, then now let's see. We have two different Copilots here. We have first the Copilot for the end user, which is here in the front. So we can click on Copilot and then we can say, okay, what is this report page about? So this is more for a comprehensive summary so that it digs a bit into the page and describe you what is going on here. So maybe a description for your team or a management summary or whatever. So this is more an end users thing, and it is also mark the visuals, which is talk about here in the explanation pane. And you see here, yes, Copilot is very chatty. You see how many words it's used, and yeah, so you have to take care of this as well if you think about using Copilot on a regular basis. Then we can go and switch to the developer views, which is in the edit mode. So if you go here and click on Copilot, you can do things like create a new report page. And to create needs, of course, some more information. And then we can say, okay, then suggest me some content. So I don't know about this data set now, so maybe you have an idea. And then it says, okay, maybe employee performance or product analysis or sales trend, maybe a customer demographics. Sounds interesting. So let's create the customer demographics and let's see what it's about. Not that we have this pages here again, but we will do it again. So, and now you see here we have yearly income distribution, we have occupation distribution and education level distribution. And let's check what was the last one about. So you see it is different because this page I created some weeks ago. So it is different. It's not the same. So it doesn't copy and paste from previous things here. And you see we have also here the yearly income by occupation and customer occupation distribution. But in this case, we don't have any pie chart, for example. We have only our column charts here. And yes, I think it looks nice. And I have to say, so it is still more for inspirational purpose, I would say, than rather for ready to go reports. So if you have no idea about your data, hopefully in most of the cases you have, but if not, this one could be a good idea to use if you are starting, for example, your career and you want to test things, and maybe this is a good way for it for getting some inspiration. And yeah, okay, what else can we do here in the developer area? So we have also the answer question about the data. So you can put in here and then get the question, and then we can say distribution overall. Distribution overall. Let's see if it finds something here. Let's see how fast it is. If you want to see something special, you can put it in the chat, and then I can show you. If you don't have questions or want to see something special, then I will go on, and maybe we will check now the data model thing, where you can see the Copilot for DAX in the service, which is also really cool. So in case this one takes a bit longer, let's go to our sample warehouse and let's say save. Okay. Now we can see here we have the model layout, and there we can see our tables, which we can connect with relationships if we want. And you see we don't have here any fields to put in measures, but this is because you're not in the data set. So if I want to put in or to advance my data set, I go to my sample semantic model, open it in the data model view, and I have to say I find the desktop rather comfortable, more comfortable than this, so I don't have to search everything. But now let's see. We are in the URL viewing mode and change will not be saved. Okay, good. Doesn't matter in the moment, but we can change. So we can say, okay, we want to edit this one. You saw it, it was in a corner. You can also, this is very new, edit it in desktop. So if I now want to edit this rather in the desktop, I can do this with edit in the desktop. But let's stay here and let's create some measures. So if I go here, I can create my new measure, and hopefully we have our create Copilot preview. This is more for the description of the measure. So let's start with this one. And we can say here, for example, some total sales amount. So classic, right? So this is no AI, I know, but now we can go here with create with Copilot preview, and it will analyze now our measure and say, okay, calculate the sum of the total. Of course, yeah, that does what it say, right? And then I can take over the description, which is really cool. And then I see here now I have my description. If I want to go into my DAX editor, I have to go back to my semantic model. I love it when this happened. Sample semantic model, write DAX queries. So now let's check what it's here. Hopefully it opens in 1 second or 2 or 3. Okay, now we have our Copilot magic here. So we can click on Copilot and then we can say, ask a question. No, why should we ask a question? We can suggest measures. So we can click on suggest measures and then it will suggest a measure. Instead of we thinking, let Power BI or let Copilot think about it. So hopefully it doesn't take that long. Based on my suggestion, you measure in DAX query for further analysis and try them out with one or more suitable columns. Okay, means what have you done here? Let's scroll up. We see here we have some descriptions. We have new measure to calculate the total sales amount for each employee, new measure to calculate the average sales amount per employee, and so on. We can also say explain this query. So what does you do here? So I have no idea what you've done. Okay, let's explain. Okay, the provided DAX query defines 2 new measures and then evaluates a summary table. Here's a breakdown query for you. And then we can go down and then we see here what is happening with some description. And this is very smart, right? So if I have no idea what I've done here, I can pretend. So yeah, I know everything. I copy and paste and then I explained it. So yeah, so this is what the Copilot in DAX can do here. So it can suggest, it can explain queries. You have also, if I'm not mistaken, a little library. You don't cover your. No, let's open another one. Doesn't matter. It's a demo, so it doesn't matter. So we can also explain DAX topics, which is cool. So if you have a thing like all accept or filter or whatever, you can put in here, and here now it's calculate. It's one of the most popular functions and the most powerful. So yeah. Okay, I guess DAX is, we can say, oh, we saw it, and we can go to the next Copilot feature. The next one will be in Analyze and Train, and it will be in our sample notebooks. Let's open the sample notebook. Hopefully it's still interesting. I get no responses in the chat, but maybe you commented later. It's also fine. So now let's do a little magic here. And for this, the first thing you have to do in the notebooks, you have to know is that you have to install the chat magic. Means you have to, if you click on Copilot, it will say, let's start, and then it will prompt here a little code which has to run before so that you get your chat magic. And I done this before, so I have already here some demo data in it, and I don't write this code, nothing of it. So I only chatted with Copilot, and Copilot asked me, and I answered, and Copilot created me this text and this code in PySpark, Python. And you see here the output, for example, is a table with product name, total revenue. And we have as well a little chart. So it's not very impressive, but you see you have the possibilities to also create charts here, to create tables which look also like visuals. And you can chat with your, so you can get a deep dive in your data if you want. And also here you have some suggestions. So suggestions for visualization, generate insights from your data, and so on. So you can do a lot here. And I have to say, I didn't done anything with notebooks before, but now I have this Copilot. I have to say I love it because you can do so much here. And you can not only ingest data, you can also orchestrate. And there's nothing what a notebook can't do. So maybe there is something. So put it in the chat. So let me know. But yeah. So that's it for the notebooks. And then we have a last one, which is the track data. I'm not sure if there is a Copilot in the sample scorecard. Let's check it out. Didn't check it before, so it is here live and as always. So we can write DAX queries in our sample scorecard. This is weird. Let's see. I guess it will be directed to the original data set on which the scorecard is based. No, it isn't. We have goals, we have notes, we have scorecard. Nice. Okay, so you can also create measures in your scorecard. Why not? Everything is possible. So we have everything. Copilot is everywhere, so you can't hide from Copilot. It's everywhere. Good thing in Power BI Desktop, you have everything in one tool. So you have your DAX Magic. You have your AI Insights, where you can, for example, do key phrases. You can language detection. You can do the language detection. You can also what was this other one? It doesn't matter. So there is a lot of AI in Power BI, and it's not since yesterday. So we have some insights like AI Insights, which are already there a long time. And it was before with Cognitive Services, and now it's with Copilot, which is also use Cognitive Services. So yeah. Did I miss something? Let's go back to our events workspace and let's check if I maybe missed something. But I guess we covered all the Copilots in my demo flow here. So we covered the data flow Copilot, the warehouse Copilot, and a bit of the DAX generator, where we have also Copilot. We have the notebooks in which we can create visuals, in which we can ingest data, and so on. And we can chat in natural language with the Copilot, which is very good. You can also ask in different languages. It will answer in German, in English. Sorry, in English. I'm not sure if it's now. If there was an update. So today I had a session in German and I asked it in German and it doesn't want to answer. So I write the question in English and then it works. So yeah, maybe it is not the day of Copilot today, but you see the demo works, so fingers crossed for the next one. We covered the create visualization, so we created a report page here. Interesting fact, if you don't have Copilot, you can also auto-generate reports. I done a live stream before, and this is also possible in the free version. So if you don't have a pro license or something, you can do it with a free license to generate data. It's more like you click on the boxes you want to visualize, and then it's not like it's certain intelligence behind it that put in the things together, but it's also like an inspiration. So it shows you some visuals, how could it look like, and so on. And the track data thing, which I also don't know that there is a Copilot for the DAX thing in it. So also new things for me today I have discovered, which is great because learning new things is always good. And I guess we covered all the things today here. That's very good. And if you have time, my next D&D session, where we will load data, transform it, and model it, and visualize it, of course, will be on the 12th of May. So if you have time, you can go to my YouTube channel. The session is already there, and then you can click on you're interested, and then you get a message if I start. And this time we will also use real dice, so you can answer if I should do it, and we will see if I can do it. And yes, that's for today. So if you had fun, then maybe we see us in the next live stream, and have a nice day. Bye bye.